Welcome back to MLB Network's Studio 42 with Bob Costas.
So here we are. It's August of 1965. Dodgers and Giants locked up in another tight pennant race. And for the younger viewers, there's no divisions. You either win the pennant and you go to the World Series or you go home. That's it. You can win 100 games, one game out, you're done. Go straight to the World Series if you win the pennant. So here it is, August, Dodgers and Giants, and some stuff is brewing as this series begins. You're going to hook up with Koufax on Sunday, but when the series begins on Friday, there's tension in the air, right?
Yes.
What happened?
Yes. Because like you say, the tension started on Friday night before that series.
The guys were sliding into each other. There were brushback pitches, hit batters, right?
This thing started on a plate. Maury Will went to the plate, and he faked a bunt. So he went back with his bat and touched Tom Haller mitt. So the umpire gave him the first base. He said interference of Tom Haller. When Herman Frank saw that, he told Matty Lou the next inning to go and do the same. So Matty was an expert, in bunting. And so Matty went to the plate. He faked a bunt. He did exactly the same. He touched John Rosborough glove. And the umpire didn't call it interference. So now Herman Frank is mad. Everybody say something to the umpire. The stadium was so full that you cannot hear what Johnny said from the behind home play. So I hollered to him because he was saying something to Herman Frank. So I say, hey, Johnny, the same thing happened to Tom Haller. He didn't get mad. So he didn't know what I say. But I didn't know what he said from there to me. So he sent me three messages. One with Matty Lou, one with Orlando, and one to Cookie Laballero. You remember Cookie?
He was a coach.
Third base coach.
Played with the Dodgers,
yes.
And he was third base coach.
So he sent me the message. And the next day, Johnny and I was talking on the bench in the bullpen. When you come out from the tunnel, there was a bench right there for the bullpen pitchers. So we were there together talking. When the game started on Sunday, I forget the whole thing.
So you against Koufax?
Yes. Maury Wood came, he bunt. He got to first. He stole second. Fly ball right field went to third. Another fly ball, he scored. Now we're losing 1-0. When he came out to the plate the second time, I said to myself, I'm going to pitch him inside. If he tries to bunt, he's going to hit himself because the ball going to be tight. Exactly the way I planned it. He was bunting. When he saw that ball coming, he had no way only to go down on his back. Now they start calling me names from the bench. So Ron Furley came out to the plate. I threw a pitch almost in the strike zone, but it was a ball, but, close to the strike zone. He went down. Now they're really getting on me from the bench. So when I came to bat, I said to myself, well, I don't know. They think I'm throwing at them. So maybe Sandy Koufax going to throw at me, So
Sandy didn't like to throw tight on guys. Didn't like to do it.
But I also say, oh, no, it's Sandy pitching. He don't throw it to nobody. So I took the first pitch. It was a ball. I said, well, I can take another one. So I took the second pitch. For some reason, when the ball went crossing the plate, I looked back, and I saw Johnny they're dropping the ball. I kept my bat on my shoulder looking at Sandy, and he threw a ball from behind, so close, tipped my ear. So I looked back and asked him why, and he gave me an answer that I think was real bad. I asked him again, and he told me the same thing. And this, when the whole thing started, you know. But I was the bad guy because I used a bat. But I think if you can hurt somebody with a bat, you also can hurt somebody with a ball. About 4 years after I was a doctor, one day I was sitting outside here in front of the hotel by myself. And Sandy come up, and he's sitting next to me. And he asked me a question. He said, Juan, are you and Johnny friends? I said, oh, yes. We became good friends. You know, and I asked him, I say, why, Sandy? He said, well, because that day, Walter Alston told me to knock you down. And I told him, I said, I know that. And I knew that you wasn't going to do it. And he said, but Johnny told me not to do it, to let him do it. Because if Sandy did it, he was going to be out of the game. So the whole thing started after that ball was thrown from behind my back.
So Roseboro was kind of doing what he thought Koufax wouldn't.
Yes.
He was kind of getting a piece of you.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
And so you wind up hitting him with the bat.
Yes.
Everyone saw the picture at that time, the blood streaming down his face. Koufax trying to be a peacemaker. Willie Mays trying to be a peacemaker.
Yes.
Lou Johnson of the Dodgers goes nuts.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Few guys. Because they got me way down in the bottom, and the both team was on top of me, on top of
You're
Johnny
at the bottom
and I.
of the pile.
Yes. But somehow I managed to get out of there, and but it was a lot of punch throwing in that fight.
Well, we have a bulletin from San Francisco on the message board now, and I quote, Juan Marichal hit John Roseboro on the head with a bat following knockdown pitches to Wills and Merle. Roseboro left the field bleeding over the left eye.